Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG blogatog. Oh, Morrow, Rosewater's at it again with his leaky list. Leaky. And there's some interesting stuff in here coming from Aetherdrift, and I think we should talk about it. So don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comments down below, feed the YouTube algorithm, yakety smackety, eBay, buy cards, TCG player, stuff and stuff. Don't forget, you become a member on YouTube, get in the Discord, hang out, have a good time, talk with me, let's play some games. It's all good. But first, let's talk about these leaks, or previews, I guess is what they're calling these things. Anyway, so here, first off, it says some things that we can expect. A 1313 vehicle with crew 2 that cost 1 mana to cast. So, Phyrexian Dreadnought, anybody? Anybody remember that? Back in the day? Back in my day! Anyway, this ought to be interesting, and especially interesting to see what the drawbacks are, but this is probably going to see some wild play in other formats. Probably not standard, modern, legacy, commander. I see you back here, water in your mouth. Anyway, a mechanic called Start Your Engines. I feel like we've seen something like this before. And honestly, it sounds like a haste mechanic. Tell me in the comments what you think. We have three Planeswalker native to one of the worlds visited, and one non-native gets a desparked legendary creature version. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. But if we're going to start doing storylines and all this stuff and whatnot, like, I feel like desparking Planeswalkers has become something that happens every Tuesday. It's not as cool as it used to be because it's just happened so much. You know, first it was, oh, Phyrexia attacks, the Planeswalkers are going to die. Oh, we cured them all but one. And now they're desparked. Oh, wait, now they got their sparks back. Like, this is becoming a bit blah. But anyway, I mean, the card's probably going to be cool. Cycle of vanilla legendary creatures. Now, this has me interesting. I love vanilla. Just saying. Anyhow, no, seriously. A bunch of vanilla legendary creatures will be really cool. Not so much for Commander, but for Commander decks. As, you know, there's a Mox that really likes legendary creatures. And I'm just saying, the more the merrier. Cat and dog mounts. That's nothing really new. I mean, we've seen things like Azeka's Chariot. I mean, might get a reprint of that. Gotta hope not. That thing was awful in standard. But, you know, we've seen dog mounts and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's fine. I'm here for it. I mean, who doesn't want to mount up the goodest of boys? Or try to, you know, round up and mount a cat. Anyway, I won't go there. Anyway, an old god returns and new gods are introduced. Now that has me interesting. There was a few of the older gods that I was really liked. And new gods are always cool. I mean, done correctly. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they're doing with this. And the one thing that's probably got everybody up in arms, probably for no reason, that says there's a new Lotus. For the love of God, people, stop caring about when they say there's a new Lotus. You remember last time we got a new Lotus? You know, do you remember that one? Let's see, I think it was Dominaria. I think it was 5 colorless, and it gave you 5 mana when you tapped it or some silly shenanigans. Like, no one cared. They were like, oh, it's a new Lotus. Wah, wah. I mean, until you're going to have to show me something and impress me before the words new Lotus even remotely gets my blood pumping anymore, because you have fooled me too many times with cheap knockoffs. I mean, every quote-unquote new Lotus we got seems like something you got from Temu. Anyway, thinking Wish.com. cycle of multicolored Gearhulks. I think we kind of knew that was coming with the last Gearhulk that they revealed. But to be fair, Gearhulks were kind of cool. Not overpowered, but still neat enough to be played. So I'm kind of here for that. Numerous mechanics from the worlds visited get cameos. So does that mean that we're going to have, like, you know, one card with kicker and nothing else? I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, it's kind of hard to play with that. But hey, I'm down for a couple cameoed old mechanics. Just for the giggles, if you will. New vehicle artifact token. I mean, they make tokens of everything else, so, I mean, this doesn't seem anything outrageous. And we've kind of seen something like this before in kind of a Magic Arena style thing. Anyway. All right, so then we move on. It says, next, here are some rules text that will be showing up on cards. This ought to be entertaining. This creature saddles, mounts, and crews vehicles using its toughness rather than its power. Okay, I mean, that's fine, and it's probably an 05 or some silly crap. But that's cool. It makes them playable while not having any attack power. It's fine. I'm down with that. I say that until it comes out and it's busted. Anyway, whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. Oh, God. Woo. Teferi's Tutelage comes to mind. Anytime you draw a card, your opponent mills 2 cards. Could we get a reprint of that? And if it's not a reprint, good God, we have 2 of them now. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. Oh, we got Big Monster Lord. But big monsters. Love Big Monster Lord. I kind of feel like this is something that really should have been in, like, Ixalan. But hey, I'm not going to complain. We finally got it. Whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, we've seen that plenty. I mean, that came out of, well, I mean, several spells, but we saw that a lot in Thunder Junction with the whole heist mechanic. That's nothing special. Tap, add a red for each goblin you control. Ooh. Gobbos are back. Back on the menu, boys. Gonna make a lot of Commander players happy with that. During turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature. All right. We've seen things like that. It's not a big deal. It's only a creature when it's not your turn. Well, I mean, you can activate it on your turn, but it's always a creature when it's not your turn, so it can block. That's fine. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, draw a card. Okay, so that immediately tells us there's an ability called Exhaust, and you get to draw a card when you do it. So it's probably going to be very similar to Exert, which, as you know, would keep something tapped down. Exhaust might do the same thing. But the fact that this card is going to let you draw a card every time you do it, maybe a whole deck in itself. Because, I mean, in Standard, if you could just exhaust your cards, 2 or 3 of them every turn, that basically drawing 2 or 3 cards a turn, that's huge, huge. Put any number of permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. I don't like cards like this. It's called free casting. And it's really getting out of hand. But this is probably something that's going to be, I'm going to guess, a ultimate from a Planeswalker. Whenever you attack, if a pirate and a vehicle attack this combat, that's wildly Pacific. But okay. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6 and are oozes in addition to other types. I think we've seen oozes something like this before that did something similar. Any ooze commander decks out there? No? Maybe it's time. Here are some creature types from the set. This ought to be good. Creature type Seal Pirate. To be fair, I don't know why we haven't seen that yet. Lizard Berserker. Okay. Insect Archer. That seems like we've seen that before. Core Pilot. The cores are back, baby. Robot Turtle. Okay, it checks out. Ape Druid. Okay. Zombie Cat Knight. Now we're pushing the boundaries. Valdalkin Ranger. Valdalkin Ranger. That's got to be a green-blue thing because Valdalkins are merfolk that are rangers. Sea Forest? Anyway. Dinosaur Dragon Mount. Oh, that sounds cool. Legendary creature Aetherborn Rogue. So I think we all know who that is. What was his name? I forget his name. He's a black card. Anyway, finally, here are some names in the set. Adrenaline Jockey. That sounds like a reprint. Flood the Engine, like that. Gas Guzzler. Calm down. Maximum Overdrive. Pedal to the Metal. Road Rage. Roadside Assistance. I love it. God, I hope that's a good card it sees play because that's just funny. The Speed Demon, Spin Out, and Siphon Fuel. No Burnout? Oh, come on. There's got to be a Burnout, like a removal spell, right? That'd be sweet. Anyway. So there you have it. There's some of the spoilers from the old blogatog about what we're going to see inside of Aetherdrift. And to be fair, most of these kind of seem relevant. There are some nice ones in here though. I will give them that. So, how about you? Are you still excited for what's coming out in Aetherdrift, or you guys still pissed about the whole Blessed Packs thing? I mean, they made the box cheaper, kinda, sorta. Anyway, till next time, be kind, and I hope to see you across from the game table. Vroom vroom.